On Monday we decided to paddle the Kaipara River. The Kaipara River runs through a number of towns. One of them is Helensville. And we've got some friends in Helensville, so we thought we'd stop by there. He was going to paddle with me, and Gloria was going to spend the afternoon chatting to his wife. The reason we chose this river was the river used to be, the area used to be called Te Awaroa, which stands for the Valley of the Long River in Maori. In 1862, somebody from Nova Scotia called John MacLeod and his wife Helen arrived, and they were involved in the timber industry, and they had a mill which overlooked the river, and they were processing kauri timber. New Zealand was quite famous for kauri timber, and it was probably a little overexploited. A number of bridges have been built over the river which are low, so other than a canoe, a lot of it is not navigable for any other size vessel. Around Helensville there are quite a lot of boats. They look really derelict, but some of them are probably operational. Then at the turn of the century, the whole area, basically kauri timber was king, and it was lots of logs were milled at the MacLeod's mill and then taken by ship to various places. There was a second rise in the area, and that was dairy. So that was around 1911, where the whole Kaipara Dairy Company was established, and that became the town's main employer. So that was interesting. On the river, the river was the main source of transport to get timber out, to get cattle and everything else and dairy out. And there's not much left happening in the river. It's not used commercially other than for tours of the Kaipara harbour and some odd fishing boat, but there's very little. A lot of the piles and structures were put in around 150, 160 years ago, and a lot of them there's been absolutely no maintenance. The wharf you see on the right hand side, there's this yacht that is sunk. Well, it's basically standing on its keel in the mud, and all the steel structure to the wharf is rusted through. The ladders are stuffed, so nothing's been done. What's happened in the meantime with COVID, the building you see in this part of the video is a storage area for a company called Juicy Rentals. They rent out vehicles as well as camper vans, and with no tourists there were hundreds and hundreds of vehicles parked in their yard. we decided to explore the side channel. Richard said it ended up somewhere near his house actually. So we paddled up, and within a few hundred meters we came across this railway bridge. In New Zealand at the moment, and especially over the Christmas season, they were busy refurbishing a number of the bridges and also replacing railway lines. There's a very small rail network in New Zealand, so they were busy refurbishing and getting it all up to standard for the start of 2021. This bridge there was enough clearance to get through, but shortly after this bridge there was another bridge, and that one became a problem. After a few hundred meters we came to this next bridge. This is a vehicle bridge that we had driven earlier in the day. We could have probably got underneath, but just on the other side of the bridge is a pipe that runs from one bank to the other. I'm guessing transporting water or sewage or something across the river. But the tide was dropping, and the tidal range is around 3.5 meters. So instead of going over the pipe and ending up in the mud, we decided just to call it a day. So this tree is really near Richard's house, and so we just hopped out at the tree. But we had a lot of fun, and definitely do it again.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see from up here.